And welcome back, everyone, to some more Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer Tournament 2018. This match is going to be Dr. Turen versus Moose. On commentary, my name is Spark, and I am joined by none other than Vulajin. Good morning, Vulajin.
Morning, Spark. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. We already had our nice share of matches today, and looking at this match, it's a 0-in-2 round, so it's another important match. The third week of the Swiss tournament is a really important week for many runners. It kind of decides if they get a chance to make the bracket, if they maybe already have made the bracket, and just stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting.
That's right. And for these two runners in particular, of course, you said it's 0-2, so the winner of this match does keep their possibility of making the bracket alive. You need to be 3-2 or better to do that, but the loser unfortunately will not be able to make the bracket. So for both of these players, who are both really new to the Randomizer, Spark, this would be a very important match. Both of these players having started playing the Randomizer within the last month and a half or so. So it'll be very interesting to see which of them is going to be able to make their statement today. They've both come a very long way since they've started.
It's always amazing to see in these tournaments that we are hosting here how quickly new players improve. And also, it's kind of like you learn a new trick every day, even from these new players, when they found a trick that maybe you didn't find, haven't had to use yet in your own randomizer. And so it's always pretty impressive to see, as we're getting a very normal start here with just a keystone.
Yep. Again, we always emphasize keystone, most common start in the Randomizer as far as your first progression. I believe it's about 2/3 of the time that you get that. So we will be seeing both runners likely getting a second keystone. Could be a red herring, of course, but most likely they'll get a second one. They'll head into the left glades and head towards the wall jump tree. And our second item is just an ability cell, which actually, Spark, it's pretty nice to get an ability cell early like this.
It certainly is, because provided they get some wall interaction, it already puts them in a decent position to skip the Blackroot Burrows cutscene and get all the pickups in there. So maybe we will see wall jump in the next two pickups, which might even mean that there's not going to be another keystone, because they wouldn't even have to go deeper into glades. But we're about to see, as both of our runners are making their way to the next pickup.
Yeah, and a lot of little things that we kind of don't mention too much. Killing these brambles, killing this slime here. Sometimes you actually want to collect that XP to set up a level up. In this case, they have an ability point already. As you suggested, there is wall jump showing up as the third pickup. And the fourth one is a keystone. So now they have both options. They can go to Blackroot Burrows directly if they so choose, or they can go left using the keystones that they just opened the door with. And it looks like Moose is going to go ahead and go left. Tuin is taking a quick stop to get a health refill before he does this fake flippers item check, but it's just energy regen. He'll actually keep that.
Yeah, he has to immediately ult out of there, and so he didn't choose to die to just kind of see what it is. Maybe he would have chosen to not take it, but he took the gamble to just keep the pickup. It doesn't really lose him that much time.
Yeah, it just kind of varies based on what the item is.
It does. And we haven't really mentioned it, but of course we did get our first skill, which was wall jump at the keystone. So it's interesting that neither of them chose Blackroot Burrows, but at the same time, there's a lot of pickups here. And also, of course, the first skill tree.
Yeah, I think it's pretty common when you have the option of both to choose the wall jump area first, because there are a number of items, especially with wall jump, the actual skill in your possession, you can get to even more of these. Ooh, Moose taking a hit from those crushers, and that costs him health he needs to damage boost up the spike wall, so he knows what to do, just takes an intentional death to go ahead and reset his health, and he had made a save nearby, and now he gets a mega health to reward him for that. So as well as a second mapstone here. The first one, ooh, he forgot an item check, Spark.
Yeah, the mapstone up to the right. And it looked definitely like he forgot it. It's not like he missed a jump there. So I think Tuan will take this pickup. We will see if this turns out to be progression. Maybe if Moose will think about this pickup when he goes back up, or maybe he just chooses to Alt R and goes to Blackroot. It really kind of depends on what this pickup is. If it's just experience, then that was a good choice. It's a keystone that could be a thing. I mean, you can always key dupe in Spirit Caverns, though it's not huge, but maybe it'll save a little bit of time.
Yeah, and given these two runners in particular, the kind of stuff that they've managed to learn, I would not at all put it past them to know how to key dupe in Spirit Caverns. You don't see it almost ever. I don't remember the last time I've seen someone have to key dupe inside Spirit Caverns, but I would not be surprised if these runners did know that. I would also not be surprised if they didn't. In either case, Moose did Alt-R head back, and he's going into Blackroot Burrows. 2 in for his part. He's up to 3 keystones, and having those in hand, I wonder which direction he will go. As he meets the moment of choice right here, he is going to Spirit Caverns.
Yeah, I'm probably hoping that he will find a 4th keystone to actually allow him to go further up towards the Grove Teleporter. Which is, and also using the Mega Health for this long fake flipper swim here. We have seen this pickup being progression. It's just very much experience this time, so it probably means that Clean Water will be in Logic very late.
I love the repeated level up explosions for Tuan. Yeah, he did, of course, keep that XP as he alt-R'd back to the beginning with that in hand. But yeah, I personally, I don't know what you're talking about. I personally have never seen this item be important in any race that I have participated in this past Thursday, so I don't really know what you're talking about, but in any case, Tuan make sure to check that item, which could definitely have been a really nice sequence break, a very clever use of the Mega Health there.
I get the feeling many people of the Ori community will check that item for whatever reason when they get a Mega Health from now on.
Yeah, it shows that at least that people have been students of the tournament. That location, at least once has been one person, me, and then there's the 4 energy door in the spider sack area, and then there's the Spirit Caverns, which often contains progression, and in this case, it has double jump.
Like double jump, and I particularly love when you look at that. It's also charge flame. So if he gets another. Oh, he's only 1 keystone, but I mean, he could key dupe here. But they certainly have means of breaking walls and plants now, or at least Tuan does.
Yeah, he would be able to make it to the Charge Flame tree, which is a pretty reasonable next play, and then he'll probably head to Blackroot Burrows after that, and we'll see what ends up happening here. So this is pretty interesting. I like this divergence by both players. Moose doing Blackroot Burrows is totally reasonable. You have to get out of the way, and you can't make it that much faster that easily. Whereas, Tuan just saying, I just want to get more item checks in quickly. And I don't know, maybe it'll result in something that speeds up Blackroot.
Yeah, at this point, since both of them have kind of split up, it really depends on who will find some progression that's making them very fast. Something like, okay, Glide is not really making his clearing that fast right now because they don't have Wind Restored. And that's also a skill that Moose will
What?
What?
Oh, okay, no, he just pressed
I thought that was from the plan.
But that's vanilla dash. Are you kidding me? For Moose picking that up on the right side. Meanwhile, Tuan is still very excited to let us know. All right, and finally the Alt-T spam stopped, and we find out that the plant was just 72 XP. But that is a lot of skills for both players very quickly, and these are not... Oh my god.
Wow.
This is a jet seed, Spark. We've got a jet seed on our hands.
Yep. It is pretty safe to assume that Moose will take the same route that Tuan just took and gets his climb, his double jump, his charge flame, his bash. And Tuan is obviously now making his way to Blackroot Burrows, and then eventually will get his dash, and then they are kind of already in go mode, only really need like Stomp or Charge Jump, something like that. So yeah, I think they'll be cutting down trees pretty quickly here after that.
Yeah, and these are checks that both runners are definitely going to make. It's not like there's any way that one of them is going to miss some of this stuff. Moose is going to go into Spirit Caverns. He needs double jump. He needs Charge Flame, and that will open up everything else. The only real question is whether he's going to have any trouble with the double jump up to the ability cell where Charge Flame was located. That can be a little tricky for some runners, really most runners. But, you know, Moose has been practicing a lot. It's been very evident in his play, so there's a pretty good chance that he's been able to get a good handle on that trick.
Yup, and after they have cleared their respective areas, which would be the next progression? I think Upper Grove is a safe bet.
I think like the entire right side of the map is available, Spark. But yeah, it's all they have to go through the spider area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Boy, you don't want to though. It's so slow.
Yeah, you kind of would like to keep these keystones. There have been matches where people were starved on keystones, and it took them a little longer to finish their match because of that.
I like this use of bash on 2 inside, just making the top of Blackroot Bears a little bit faster. There's an option if you have bash in your possession, instead of alt-Ring from the bottom of Blackroot, you can actually just go to the middle of the bottom of the middle room and just double bash a shot all the way up. Moose is having some difficulty with this jump, but he's getting close. He does seem to know where the spot on the wall is. There it is, so he does get his Charge Flame. So he had a little bit of trouble with it, as I was kind of thinking, but not a lot of trouble, and it didn't scare him off picking that pickup.
Yeah, that was definitely a case of knowing that this trick exists, maybe not exactly knowing how to execute it, because it's just something you have to do a bunch of times to really kind of know where you have to hit your jump. It's kind of like the roller skip that we are doing in all skills.
Yeah, a little bit, for sure. I think this one's less precise, but it's not less precise by a lot. And so it can definitely... oh, hey, here we go. Moose does remember that this mapstone is here, and he remembers that he did miss it. And very good use of double jump to get up there as well. Not a common thing that people realize is possible. So that's really, really nice job by him, and making sure that he does not get randoed by missing one pickup by accident.
And that will give him his 3rd keystone, so he only needs one more to successfully check this pickup. I think this hasn't been checked by Toon yet.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, it's the 4th keystone, as I was expecting. I was kind of wondering where that would be. So they can actually make it up through Spirit Caverns.
All right, Spark, we just got our first clue here, and that is coming from the 3rd tree collected by Toon, and it is the water vein being in Grotto, which is kind of an annoying clue because there's 35 pickups in Grotto, any one of which could be the water vein.
Yeah, those are a lot. I mean, especially they have bash, they have a charge flame. It can really be any of these 35 pickups, I think. Maybe are there some grenade lock pickups in there? I don't even know now. I mean, probably like the 4 energy door is not in logic now, but maybe they get enough energy cells once they make their way over there. So yeah, they will have to check a lot of pickups for sure.
Yeah, we have, I think Toon is forgetting to do his lever glitch here to be able to get through this section. Or possibly he just wanted to get... Oh, maybe he needed an ability point. That's always hard to tell on the commentary restream. But in any case, he's going to set it up now. Moose heading up through the top of Spirit Caverns, just as we were talking about. This is really his only access to the rest of the world, and we'll probably see some valley entry right now, as well as the spider sack area in just a little bit.
Maybe he will even decide to take the XP up on that tree, as well as with glide and double jump taking the plant on the top there.
Yeah, I mean, he has bash as well, so he's got many options to get up there. Well, he's taking this one. It's not the fastest, but it will get him there.
Yeah, he kind of killed his double bash enemy. He could have probably taken the other bird, but I mean, look at that. Just that smooth movement. I mean, doesn't really cost him that much time. And it's
he actually
as intended. So
yeah. I mean, Spark, he actually might have forgotten that he has bash, and I would not at all be surprised. I wouldn't even blame him, obviously, because they've gotten so many skills all at once. It is very easy to forget one of like the 5 things that you just got.
It certainly is. I mean, we do have the tracker, but you can't always look at that. Everyone forgets what they have once in a while, especially you're not really used to having these kind of skills that early. So it's kind of just some muscle memory shenanigans that probably getting in the way there. They're kind of expecting to not have bash at that point.
All right, so after all this, it looks like Tuin has come out with a little bit of a lead, but I really like this play from Tuin. Oh no, okay, that part he doesn't probably like too much. He wants to use his Frankie to stomp this peg here, and that is going to get him access into Gumo's hideout, the lower section of Grotto, as Moose...
That's
Moose
trolly.
the Grove teleporter.
He just watched the cutscene, and one pickup later, it's the same teleporter that, yeah, he was trying to activate by watching the cutscene.
Oh my gosh, but this play by Tuin is really, really heads up. This is going to just allow him a much faster access to the right side of the map, but the only thing it will also do to him is he might not end up checking the spider sack area possibly ever. I mean, he's practically in still go mode.
Yeah, and since they don't have 4 energy or any energy really at this point, it's a really smart play, I'd argue, because I mean, the spider sack area, while it does have some pickups, it doesn't have many pickups. So, oh, takes a rather huge dash access to the spider there. Has to do all of this again.
Yeah, that's a theme right now between the 2 runners. They're both having some rough deaths, and it's good to point out, you know, you mentioned that they don't have like almost any energy. Well, they also don't have almost any health. They're both at 3 still, and that is an uncomfortable position to be in. Moose is right back down to 1 HP again. It's very unpleasant right now for both of them.
And they can't even save because they, as we mentioned, oh, don't do it to him. Okay, he's alive. Missed the jump there. Yeah, they cannot really safety save because they only have 1 energy.
Oh, the Sorrow teleporter showing up for Moose there, and
Nice save.
Okay.
Didn't even flinch. Okay, he will check exactly. He will check the pickup up there. And another keystone.
Well, I mean, given that they're practically in go mode, I think the keystones are going to be very appreciated, just to make sure they don't have any keystone problems like we've seen in previous races, like right before this one. But
yeah, as Tuin finds his first energy cell in the mapstone number 3, and gets charge dash efficiency. So eventually not gonna use up that much energy once he gets stomped.
Oh my god. That's go mode. He's in go mode.
He is. He certainly is. I mean, now he can even break the storm floor for the grenade tree. He has Moose picked up Sorrow TP, but as that was I think the energy cell in the spider sack area, that might be something that Tuin gets if he chooses to loop around the Grove area to eventually make his way to Grove and then Valley entry.
You know, actually, that's a concern. I'm not sure that he has much incentive to ever get that direction, so he might miss that Sorrow TP, and that might not be a huge deal if he gets Valley, for example. He does have Glide. Wind Restored would be nice to help him out here. Moose picking up an energy cell from the Horror Field's health cell here. Tuin riding just barely enough keystones to be able to open... Oh, never mind. He had already opened the door, and he has 4 extras. So actually, Moose has Tuin has a lot of keystones, so he's actually doing pretty well on that right now.
While they were being starved on energy cells, both of them picked up a lot of energy cells on their respective routes, so this seed won't be starved on energy for too long, but they are still on 3 health, and I mean, they have a lot of skills, and we said they were in go mode at this point, so they don't really need to sequence break that much, but still, should they be keeping the dirty water and not getting clean water, they certainly need a little bit more health. So they're gonna keep checking pickups. I mean, even if it's just to look for health.
Yeah, go mode definitely is a little bit of a misnomer on my part, but what they definitely have is skill go mode. That is to say, they can complete the game with these skills. All 10 trees are accessible. They can definitely do it. Question is whether they feel comfortable and what level of health they need in order to get this. You see now, Tuin, having done the double jump tree, is heading back into Grotto to do some of his checks, and Moose on the way in is also doing his checks. They do both know that the water vein is somewhere in Grotto. They just don't know where, so they have to check everything.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It's probably at the mini boss at this point, because that's something you don't want to check. I mean, we've seen Tuin even going out of his way and checking the pickup that would be located in the upper left from where he is now, that XP, which takes a very long time. And that, I think, was just experience. And he's only on 3 energy, so he cannot check this 4 energy door right now.
Oh, he's trying to energy glitch it, but unfortunately, I think he got back in range of the door after doing that. The energy glitch is where you can leave an energy in the door after you've gone out of range of it by putting it in on the frame you walk away, but unfortunately he ended up just touching the range of the door again, and that broke it. So
this ability set is just some experience. If the water vein turns out to be in one of the 2 pickups down below, that could potentially put him behind. But at the same time, there's still a lot of pickups to check, so...
Oh, yeah, he might know about the possibility of doing a save drop there, but it doesn't look like he's going to go for it in any case. Very tough trick that requires spending ability points and possibly soft locking your save file, so he says maybe not.
It looks like now he's going for the energy glitch again, actually. And this time, he will get it, I believe. I hope. Is it possible once you get the energy in there to just jump up there without getting it out?
It is. However, you can't jump to the right wall. That won't do it.
Yeah,
so
he just took it out.
That's what he's discovering.
Oh, and there's the water vein.
Yep. A nice, simple location in the Death Gauntlet, unfortunately for Tuin. But that's okay. I mean, this is not that bad to be farming anyway, because there's a chance he could have come away with something necessary here, but it does save Moose a little bit of time that Tuin is currently having to invest.
He now gets his energy door. Maybe... Oh, will he take the... Oh no, he needs to take the other thing here to get rid of the lasers, of course. And maybe he will find some other progression. I guess at this point, charge jump would certainly be nice. To reward him for his trouble.
Yeah, I don't think he would complain about having a charge jump. I mean, the other skills, like Grenade, would be nice for peace of mind about this Sunstone. But otherwise, I don't think there's really anything that he really needs. Breaks that wall with a Stomp, because it is the weakest wall in the entire video game. Gets a health cell for his trouble. And it's the first one of the game, Spark.
You are right, it is. Wow, so all the health is probably like... I don't know, Ginzo Valley, something like that. Ginzo could actually be a good play here eventually. Because they have Bash, they have double jump, they have plant breakage. And they have the water vein, of course.
Yeah, now what Tuin doesn't have is he doesn't have access to the top part of Moon Grotto. He has not yet gotten any way of getting in there, so he's going to continue farming out the bottom here to find his water vein. And unfortunately, it's not here, so it's just going to cost him a bunch of time that Moose is going to have an opportunity while he's doing this to go get a head start on the remaining 6 trees.
And it certainly looks like he is doing that. As you mentioned, Tuin is going to clear all of this part of Grotto down where the water vein is not, so I'm kind of hoping for his sake that he will find something nice to make up for it, because look at how much energy he already has. That's not even mega energy. So he can charge dash around a lot later throughout the seed. So I guess that's nice. And
Spark, I want to point out that Moose has kind of, he got into what he feels is pretty close to go mode, so he's skipping a lot of checks. And one of the things that he skipped is that top plant on the left side of Moon Grotto, and that plant was Stomp. And that lack of Stomp is forcing him to do this trick right now, which he is, having a little bit of trouble with, just like Tuin had a little bit of trouble getting the Frankie onto the peg in Blackroot Burrows to get into Grotto in the first place. Moose is having a little bit of trouble here, so this might help Tuin, make up some of the time that he's losing for these extra checks down here.
And that's certainly time that he needs. We've seen him taking the Grotto skip that I mentioned earlier throughout the race to make it to the upper side of Grotto. So he will eventually get his Water Vein. If he just keeps checking pickups kind of from bottom to top, he will find it very shortly here. And then I would be really interested to see what he decides to check next with his Stomp. He could do Grenade, but that's not really pickup dense, so he probably does the Ginzo play. Or Valley for that matter, like Moose is doing now.
Yeah, Moose managed to make it through that difficult skip, get his Frankie on his peg. So we've seen 2 Frankies on pegs today, 2 different Frankies on pegs. And Moose, having the Water Vein in hand, says, I'm not really interested in Ginzo. I have Bash, that's plenty. I'm just going directly to the left. Tuin finding just a bunch of XP in what we've sometimes referred to as the Glide Vault, because I think 2 times last tournament it had Glide in it, and that was enough for that.
I did not know that.
We're very, very creative in the Ori community.
Oh, it's fall on TP for Tuin. That probably won't matter in this race. I think we are already set. Of course, if Sunstone turns out to be in fall on, that does matter. We still haven't gotten the clue yet where Sunstone is.
Ooh, that's interesting. So Moose backed out of Valley. He missed Fast Stompless. When I say missed, he died. And then he immediately alt-art Spark, and that might be because he's not comfortable doing Fast Stompless. And if that's the case, he needs either the Sunstone, Charge Jump and Climb, or Stomp. And we know where Stomp is, and he's not going back down there, most likely.
Yeah, you're right. He needs some things like that. He's going for Swamp Entry now, so I mean that's out of logic for him at the moment, but we does not choose to double bash the frog, but gets him over there. And maybe there's some progression in Mapstone 4. We have not seen what's in Mapstone 4 yet.
This will be interesting. I'm very curious what Moose's approach is going to be. If he is concerned about being able to do the Stomp Rocks above Kuro's head, then it's very interesting that he wouldn't be looking for the skill. However, it could mean what he's trying to do. Oh, he's short on Keystones too for Stomp Tree. Oh boy.
Oh man.
This is an exciting moment for Moose right now, and I don't mean exciting in a good way.
And he's still only on 3 health. He hasn't found a single health cell throughout all of his clearings.
Alright, where are we heading now? This was Blackroot Burrow's teleport. Are we heading into Grenade Tree?
Without Stomp, he will do the Frankie Lure here. Looks like he will. Choose the bash method, while he does have dash.
This is interesting. I'm trying to get inside the head of Moose right now. I'm trying to think what he might be thinking, and I think the kind of things that's coming to my mind are like he got into a situation where he has so many skills, and he's thinking like I need to go, and he's quickly realizing like wait crap, I can't go to this specific place because of this reason. I can't do this thing because of this other reason. Crap, what do I do now? Like I've kind of painted myself into a corner. I think that might be what's happening to him, because these seeds can be tough to deal with. When you get so much stuff so quickly, Spark, it's very easy to kind of overestimate how much you can actually do with that stuff.
You're certainly right with that. I think we've all found ourselves in a kind of situation like this, where you're just overwhelmed by basically any tree being available, but then you're short on keystones or you're missing like Stomp and you kind of forget about it. And so you have to do these major sequence breaks in hopes of getting maybe one more skill that would give you progression, but at the same time it's not very likely because you're sequence breaking the randomizer logic. And it just can be rough, especially when your opponent kind of is in his go mode as well, and he won't have to do these sort of sequence breaks.
Yeah, pretty much one extra check right now being the big difference for Tuin over Moose. The health cells definitely are nice. Moose absolutely would be wishing that he has more health right now, just judging by the fact that he's taking a lot of damage regularly and taking deaths. But the big thing is that Stomp pickup makes Tuin's life massively easier, and Moose does not get to take advantage of that. He does complete the Frankie walk successfully to no! Why did I say anything, Spark?
I don't know. God damn it. Oh no, where's he teleporting now?
Oh boy.
Grotto. Oh, maybe he will dig for some more pickups and find a Stomp.
I think if he did, that would be like the best possible play. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna do. Oh, he wants energy. Okay, sure.
Okay,
so on Tuin's side, so Tuin's collected his water vein. He just managed to get into Stomp Tree. So Tuin's got 5 keystones thanks to his extra farming. That's after opening the Stomp door. So he is doing pretty well in that regard and has a pretty good opportunity to just kind of continue through everything. The real question is if he's going to get that Sorrow teleporter. He's heading up here towards Grove, Spark, but I have a feeling he's going to go towards the Ginso tree rather than the Spider Sack area.
There's a cutscene that he could have skipped, which he probably wasn't aware about. At the same time, he bashed the frog shot. I didn't notice if he was trying the setup, but Moose just circling his Stomp pickup. He got his Stomp, so maybe he will go for Valley entry now again, or the Grenade tree. All of this is available for him now. So he will have to be rather well in his execution to catch up to Dr. Toon, but it's not over for him at this point, I'd say, because he found his Stomp pickup.
Yeah, it's really, really smart play by him to think, where's the place that I can go that was already accessible and has a really high chance of having stuff. He already checked most of the outside of Swamp, if I recall correctly, and he also, of course, has already checked the Spider area and stuff, so he had those pickups in Grotto still available. He knew that they had a good chance of being something, so he headed on back there and he got his Stomp. Great heads-up play by him, so it's gonna give him an opportunity here to not get completely overwhelmed. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see him go to the Ginso tree instead, but he does have enough keystones to do Stomp, so it does look like he wants to go there.
Yeah, this is a Stomp play. He already has his Swamp entry done, so he can just kind of rush through here. Yeah, okay. And then he will take this Stomp pickup. But Tuin is in Ginso now, and Ginso has been in Logic for quite a while actually. So maybe we will see some kind of progression in here as well.
We're getting to our first pickup, and it's just some XP, but we've got 6 pickups in this area prior to the Bash tree, which is of course the skill tree that we need from the Ginso tree, and every seed we can't finish without it. And then subsequently, there's another like 7 pickups before the next Keystone door. Now, Tuin's currently sitting on 7, so he has enough Keystones to really just continue all the way in the tree if he wants. But given that he's in practically go mode, I have a feeling he won't be doing too much extra farming.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe showing us a quick mini-boss skill here, having a little bit of trouble landing the charge flame shots. He could charge dash him, probably not when he's in the spikes like this, but at this position where he just was. Fairly slow kill with the skills that he has at this moment, but at the same time, once the mini boss disappears once and shows up somewhere else, it's pretty tough to adjust to that, because you're kind of used to do the quick kills in the first spot where he always shows up, or at least that's it for me.
Yeah, there's an infinite variety of quick kill possibilities for him. But unfortunately for Tuin, most of them are kind of awkward if you don't have like charge jump. So he does get his second clue, tree 6 being the bash tree. Unfortunately for him, the second clue, oh my god.
Doesn't need the third clue. The reverse curse.
Alright, I give up. This is go mode. Dr. Tuin's just gonna be able to finish up if he wants, because there's the Sunstone just chilling right next to the bash tree.
Yeah, good thing he checked that pickup. I mean, some people might have just chosen, even though it takes like no time at all to check that pickup, some people might have just chosen to not check it because they are in skill go mode. So, good thing he did.
Now, again, you know, we're going to point out this keystone problem for Moose. It's not like he can't get the keystones he needs. He has one. And when you have one, you have infinite because key duplication exists. However, here's the problem for Moose. It's making him not go to Ginso because he doesn't have the keys to do that. And that means he's not going to get that Sunstone. And I wonder if we're going to see him do a lot of a lot of unnecessary farming as a result of that.
You're right. Any really farming that they keep doing now is really unnecessary. They have everything they need. All of the pickups are in logic, and maybe Moose is opting to actually do Ginso last here, because he wants to have that. Oh no! Having problems with the shark shots there.
Oof, and
He's
another...
still on 3 health.
Yeah, and his save is still just stuck at the entrance of Misty, so these deaths are just sending him right back to the entrance and just basically resetting his progress every time, taking full advantage of that health regeneration. But boy, this is just a scary, scary place. He does get a save down now. And you do see Tuin still checking pickups, most likely. Well, one, he seems to be out of keystones. I am unclear how that happened. And two, he could probably use some more health.
They both could at this point. I mean, if Moose finishes this seed on 3 health, I'm gonna be pretty amazed.
It's theoretically possible if he gets ultra defense and pulls off. Oh my god, Tuin just... Wow, second race in a row for Tuin in his play, having to deal with the sad cell-less trick, where you get fast stompless and don't get the ability cell. And boy, he's gonna be thinking about it. You know he is. It's probably not required, but he's gonna be thinking about it. And for Moose, the 3 health is technically possible if you get ultra defense and you do a perfect final swim, but that is very hard, even for experienced speedrunners.
It certainly is. So he kind of has to find some more health here. Maybe there will be some on his way. That's just an ability cell. We want a different kind of cell for Moose here.
Well, I think he might not complain about the ability cells either if it gives him an opportunity to get ultra defense, but we'll see.
But he's on 11 AP now. I don't know how far he has skilled already. But might be a good idea to use some of these ability points soon.
Yeah, I don't know either, so we'll find out next time he, in fact, probably soon, because it looks like he is heading to Grenade Tree, where he will definitely be making use of some ability points. Both of our runners are on 7 out of 10 trees. Moose has not done Ginso, but he does have the, does he? Yeah, he just got it. Hello, me, Brain? The climb tree from Misty.
Oh yeah, he did. And that's also kind of a lead for him. Both of them need 3 trees, and the climb tree takes a little while to pick up. Oh, look at that. That's trolley location for Wind Restored.
Wow. So the Sara TP, of course, was available earlier, so that was clearly the intended progression into Sara Pass. Actually, Moose, you just mentioned Moose has a lead, and actually you're very right in that regard. He's going to get tree number 8 right here, and then number 9 from Charge Jump is going to be very, very easy for him to get because he has the Sara teleporter, so he'll be able to just enter that way, and that should be very quick.
But he is on 3 health.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think it's possible, but it's gonna be rough. Maybe he will do the spider bash way. He's going over there right now, so he will show us his method. While Tuan has found 1 keystone while he was here, so he's just duping his keys here in Sorrow. But that would, of course, take a little bit of time.
I don't think his key dupe is working. I think his save might be too... There we go. Okay. That was weird. A couple
he was on 1 keystone before, and he got 2, and now he got 4.
Oh, okay. Gosh, man, my brain is just off today, but that's fine. We do see Moose descending into the Spike Cave room of Sara Pass, using the double bash on the spider shot. A little bit easier than some stuff we saw runners trying to do earlier, but he does take a quick nip of the spikes. All of these spikes are absolutely deadly to him, and there's no way around that. Meanwhile, Tuan has gotten tree number 8, and he is going to Alt-R, which is actually an interesting choice. It would, technically, with Dash, Stomp, and Glide, it would be faster for him to have manually exited and stomp his way back into Valley, stomp the rots there, and then just go directly into Misty. But he will still be able to do this. Meanwhile, Moose making his way back in, and he's going to go left to the charge jump tree.
Has to be careful not to hit the spikes here. He's looking for the perfect double jump. There we go, leveled up triple jump. I was waiting for exactly that.
And alternate defense. He's got everything now.
As you can see, with triple jump, it's actually fairly easy to pass these spikes. With double jump, I think it's possible, but oh boy, it's very hard. So he will get his charge jump tree, and then he only needs the Ginzo visit in order to pick up bash. So it's pretty close. Tuan is almost at his 9th tree here as well, and what's that grenade pickup will be a little bit faster than the bash pickup. So it's hard to say who really is in the lead at this point. I'm just hoping that Moose will pick up the Sunstone at the bash tree.
So Moose seems to be going back to Sorrow, which is interesting, but I'm going to tell you why I think that might be. One, aside from the health, he has 1 keystone, and there's a way to dupe in Ginso, and it is garbage. So I believe he is trying to get to the door in Spike Cave here so that he can duplicate his keystones, but that is going to give Tuan an opportunity to collect tree number 10. So this race is actually incredibly close right now, with the big problem for Moose being Ginso is not super fast.
Yeah, I think it's the correct call to do this method of key duping here. The Ginso method can take quite a while, and if he gets this fast, I think he actually makes up a little bit of time compared to if he were to do it in Ginso.
Unfortunately for him now, I think it is coming down to a lead for Tuan. You can clearly see as Tuan's going to have a pretty quick trip to this grenade tree from here, whereas Moose would still need to do all of Ginso. So this definitely is Tuan's opportunity right now. It's his race to lose, having everything in hand. He's got more health. Moose still stuck on what appears to be 4 health now, so it's slightly better. I want to say that it's possible to make that jump that Moose just did via spider bashes. I think it's possible to make that jump via triple jump only, but I'm not 100% sure.
I was thinking that's possible too, but I've never been in this situation, so I can't confirm. And he's through now, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just have to key dupe once because of his 2 keystones. Oh no, he's on 3. So he got 1 in the Dorito cave himself.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it for Dr. Tuan. He is now up to 10 trees. He is heading directly to the final escape, with 6 HP. I did not see if he got Ultra Defense, but he does in fact have Ultra Defense. Thank you to Nans in our truck for providing that information, which means that he should be very, very safe in this final escape. With all these skills, Spark, I don't think he's going to have too much trouble.
He also has like all the energy in the world for all the charge dashes he could possibly want. Maybe he's a little limited on quick verticality, but with triple jump, he has enough verticality. And yeah, I kind of think that he got the race now. I don't expect him to really mess up the escape either. And Moose still has to do the whole of Ginzo, so Dr. Toon has actually quite a huge lead at this point.
It's really weird to think that a race might have, to some extent, come down to keystones. I don't think that's the full story here. Like, you can't simplify it that much. Certainly, Moose spent a bunch of time earlier trying to do difficult strategies to enter places before he realized that he really needed Stomp and went and found it quickly. So that certainly didn't help him. But unfortunately, just that combination of various things, though the keystone problems, the hard strats he was trying to do, have added up to give Tuin this lead right now that he hopes to capitalize on. Just needs to finish this escape, and he will be victorious here.
Yep, and he's triple jumping around. Not too much of a problem. With Bash, this escape is fairly easy. He can just like break this floor and then break this wall, and then he can triple jump, not even taking any damage. And even though the water is still poisonous for him, he's on 6 HP, he has Ultra Defense, so no problem at all. Can even bash the fish, so chooses to go for fish strats here to be a little faster. And he can do that because he has Ultra Defense. Come on. And he's through.
GG to Tuin. He will be crossing the finish line in about a minute and change as he collects his first win of the tournament, and most importantly for him, the victory that keeps his chances at the bracket alive, while unfortunately Moose, who is working on the Ginso tree right now, not much left for him to finish up, but he will unfortunately be eliminated from bracket contention here.
He will, and I mean, he got the Ginzo clue, so there's no way he won't check the Sunstone pickup. That's directly in front of him right now. There we go. Immediate Alt-R. He will finish up now as well, probably like somewhat 2 to 3 minutes later than Tuin. So yeah, I think Keystone and the Storm pickup, and maybe this race would have turned out differently.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Sorrow Teleporter pickup really helped out Moose, so you can't say necessarily that that Moose was punished for going around the long way, because at the early game, that is, because Tuin also took a fair amount of time to get his Frankie to stomp the peg to be able to get into Nagumo's hideout. But, you know, Moose not having Stomp in hand, trying to break his way into lower black root, having some problems with that. Trying to go to the Stomp tree, not having enough keystones, getting delayed from going to Ginso. Ow, that is a lot of damage. But...
taking a battle into the face. But with Ultra Defense, it survives on half an HP point. Maybe he was just showing that's possible. I don't know.
Most likely he wanted to bash off and just missed the button press timing.
Do you think he will get the validation pickup now that he knows that Tuin has finished the race?
He actually doesn't, because Dr. Tuin hasn't pressed .done in the race, but that's kind of irrelevant. Tuin is still victorious, but he does have to go like type the letters in the thing at some point.
But I'm not looking at SRL chat for once. Oh well. Anyway, Moose is starting his final escape here now. And gets some experience from Kuro. Not enough for a level up though. He has a little bit less energy than Tuin had, but with charge dash efficiency, he should be fine. He also has his Ultra Defense, so the swim should also be no problem for him either. So I'm not expecting too much problems with this escape.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't have like a sudden like missed input or something preventing him from jumping here, which he didn't. So he is safe. He just needs to avoid getting nipped by the fire and take a nice little poison swim. The delicious poison water. Got munched by the fish, just a tad, but he is fine. No charge jump here. He just needs to jump up and float. Or that works as well. I like that very creative little strat. So he is able to make it to the last section and just needs to grab some rocks and bash upwards.
And there we go. GG to Moose. We'll finish at about a 50-minute mark. And I think both of them played the seed pretty well. As we've said throughout the match, both of them had to do some sequence breaks to, hard stress, sequence break, whatever you want to tell them to adjust to what skills they had at the time, even though they got many skills right at the start. They were missing like one skill, like the Stomp skill mainly, and then Tuin was missing the Sorrow TP, so he had to go all the way around without having Wind restored. But both of them managed to play fairly well with what skills they had. So I think it's not like they cannot be proud of their performance today, even though Moose lost.
Yeah, I agree. And particularly, the thing I'm impressed with Moose was very quickly after realizing that he couldn't make quick use of the sequence breaks he was trying to make use of, he could just go directly back to Grotto. He was able to immediately decide, that's the place to go. I'm going to head on back there and find the thing I need. And it was exactly right there. So very heads up play by him. He finishes at exactly 50 minutes, 0 seconds, 0.33.
And immediately exits the game.
And unfortunately, again, that is the end of his hopes for the bracket. However, it is not the end of his tournament, as this is Swiss. We've got 5 rounds of Swiss in this tournament, so he can, if he so chooses, continue to play and enjoy his 0-3 match coming up next week and the 1-3 or 0-4 match the following week. But we'll see what he chooses to do. And as for Dr. Tuin, he lives to fight another day. Just needs 2 more wins in order to move on to the bracket. And I believe we are now joined by Dr. Tuin, our victorious runner. GG Tuin, and congratulations on the win, keeping your bracket hopes alive. Feel free to share any thoughts that are top of mind for you.
I popped off pretty hard. My regardless of getting into the bracket or not, my main goal was to get 1 win, since this is my first tournament, and I pretty much ejected myself out of the chair and threw my headphones to the ground. It was pretty exciting. The seed was great. I was so happy to get Glide. I've been glideless way too many of these tournament seeds across my singles and doubles. So that's why, if you guys notice, I freaked out a lot on that one. But yeah, it was smooth. I liked it. I was gonna say, hey, let's go higher in Ginso in case I get the Sunstone, and it was right there. So, yeah, it was great.
It was but you can certainly hear your excitement, Tuin, I'd say. And having watched that race, I think you played the seed very well. Though there was one little hiccup, maybe, that I noticed. And I'm kind of wondering if that's a thing for you and your partner of Infinity Death Content. Now you also got the sad sellers. How
it's
did
really
that
it's really funny. I even practiced that yesterday, and I had like a 95% success rate. Doing I don't know if you guys noticed, I have a little bit of a different method of doing fast stomp lists than the community does. And the way I do it allows you to check the position of the shot walking across and make it to the cell using only bash. And so I figured with dash I'd be fine, and I wasn't.
Okay. Well, I have to rewatch for that method for sure.
Trick.
It is. It certainly is. But apart from that, a very, very solid performance, definitely.
Yeah, I didn't sweat the cell because I checked all my skills and I knew I was in go mode. So it could have only been something like Sorrow TP or something. I don't know. That would have made it faster. I don't think much else would have.
As it happens, we do know where that one was.
Oh, you know where Sorrow TP was?
Yeah, it wasn't the fast boundless cell, I can tell you that.
Hey.
No, it wasn't.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'll use this as a good opportunity to ask a question. We'll bring that all together. So when you got basically all the initial area skills, you got your charge flame, your double jump, your bash, your dash, everything. You had several possible ways to access the right side of the map. Well, okay, 2 possible ways to access the right side of the map because you didn't have enough energy for Frankie Walk. You could go the long way around the spider area, or you could go the Frankie sequence break into Gumo's hideout. And you chose the Frankie sequence break, which you had a little bit of trouble with. And
yes,
then
I did.
Your opponent chose the spider route, which that's where they found the Sorrow TP. But the question that I really want to ask is, as far as that Frankie sequence break, just kind of pulling that out in this race, is that something that you have practiced thoroughly, or is that something that you kind of just were like, I know I can do this. I have a very good idea of like the general thing. I'm just going to do it and hope I get it quickly.
I've done it before. I just haven't taken the time to optimize it. For instance, if we did not get stomp and I needed to break into grenade area, I know that you can get the Frankie up over the top in 2 double bashes, not 3, and that leaves you 1 to bash him through the risky spikes if you don't have dash. And so I know all that about that trick. I have not like sussed out all the details of this trick. So I've done it a few times. I just didn't have it down pat. And then when I got it but killed the frog, I didn't have stomp, and I was really worried that the fastest route was going to be doing frog tricks into grenade. So I started over again because I really wanted him to stay alive.
I mean, that's a pretty good hedge play. As it turned out, fortunately, in this case, you did not need him alive. But I mean, Stomp could have been completely buried, so
yep,
certainly advisable. Next question I'm going to ask, you just mentioned, of course, that you popped off. I like that use of terminology because it segues really well into the question I'm going to ask. I know you've mentioned it before that you are and have been involved in fighting games.
yes.
So what I want to ask is, with like what your level of experience in fighting games is, and how that compares to participating in something like a speedrun tournament, basically.
I've played Super Smash Brothers in various iterations for 15 to 17 years. But I've also done Super Mario Odyssey speedrunning. I've done achievement collection completion in Dust Force and Super Meat Boy, and all of that kind of coalesces into the way I do skill research in this game. I really like finding niche skills and figuring out how to do them. I really hope that in one of the tournament matches we get a no verticality Ginso tree. I think you guys will be very excited about that. If I have charge dash, and so I know all these little things. I know how to get to certain micro ledges. I know how to do various tricks. I did the sticking the energy into an 4 energy door trick this run. The thing that's different. So yeah, all those like key skills, those all match up great with fighting games. I know how to plink, which is mashing 2 keys 1 frame after the other. So grenade jumps came easy to me. But the thing that's harder is figuring out the logic, figuring out how do you string together all those skills that you know, all those fancy pants tricks into getting all of the items that you need. That's the much harder part for me, and I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit of a better handle on it. But I practice every day. I probably have 150 hours in on this now. It's very exciting, and I love it a lot. I'll probably do weekly races after the tournament's over.
Man, I feel for your opponents in 1 and 2 because whoever it is going to have a tough time.
Yeah, you've shown in this race that you're certainly a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you.
Well, I think that that does it for my question. Spark, you got anything else for Dr. Tuin?
I actually have no more questions. So apart from, once again, congratulations for your chance to maybe make it into brackets even, Tuan.
Thank you.
And apart from that, I just want to quickly tell you what else of Ori we have today. The next Ori match is going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern on the Speed Gaming main channel, actually. And it will be Aiko versus Wilson. And Aiko has a lot of knowledge about the randomizer, while Wilson is just very skilled at this game and also has done his fair share of randomizers. So this match will be really interesting. And then we have even more races coming after that. So definitely stick around.
That's right. And if you want to check out the schedule, you can hit up the ! Ori command in the chat, and the schedule is linked there so you can check out what all is coming up. There are, I believe, 4 matches left today, all of which should be pretty good. But for now, that's going to do it for us. Again, I want to thank our truck this afternoon / evening / morning, depending on your part of the world, Nans and Solan Straza / Sin Yadriel. Many names, but thank you very much for helping us out today. And of course, Richard for restreaming. And you, Spark, for joining on commentary. It was a pleasure today.
Yeah, it was really fun commentating. Thank you to Woolagin.
All right, well, we'll see you guys in about an hour for the next match. But for now, go get some lunch / dinner / see you soon.
Bye.